Hello everybody and welcome to another update video on Strategy Inc. We take a look at the strategy chart here on the 1 hour time frame. I think 2 days ago we covered the larger time frame extensively, so we want to talk a little bit about what happened here and if there's still a chance for a larger bounce even in the orange scenario. And I guess you can see it already on the chart. Yes, there's a chance. In the end, the price hasn't done anything unusual so far. I mean, what have we talked about? We've talked about this decline, which could be in the bearish scenario, which is the orange scenario, and could lead to ongoing declines in the orange scenario. Yeah, if we're in a bear market already, you know, MSTR will likely follow Bitcoin into a bear market. Yeah, so there is a roadmap for that with clear support levels, resistances, and it's just important to understand when this will become more likely. To be honest, over the last few weeks, MSTR has done a lot to confirm this further, but it's not fully confirmed. I mean, the white scenario, the bullish count, still has a chance, but with any decline, with any break of support, this becomes obviously less likely. We can still map the key levels, the key support and resistance levels and turnaround areas, where the white scenario needs to find support to keep it alive. Yeah, quick reminder, in the white scenario, this is seen as a B wave low. I mean, and it could also be a wave 2 low, but it's just important that we break above, that we get a break above resistance, which is here between $302.87 and $342.64. So what we want to see is a move up in 5 waves that takes the price above $342. That would be the minimum requirement to be able to reduce the likelihood of the orange scenario, which is a so-called 1-2 setup to the downside. Actually, it is a so-called nested 1-2 setup, which means we have 5 waves down in Roman numeral 1. We have a wave 2 bounce, and then another, I don't want to move stuff here, and then another 1-2 setup to the downside. So the resistance area is here, $302.87 to $342.64. This is our standard resistance area. We need to break above it to reduce the likelihood of the orange count, because a wave 2 should normally not, decisively at least, break above it. The formal invalidation point for the orange scenario as it is the green line at $365.50. Yeah, nothing is ever certain, so we cannot then completely rule out downside. But within this scenario, it will be invalidated, and it clearly would be an indication the bulls have taken the lead. Now, in the short term, even in the orange scenario, the bulls could take the lead, and I think a bounce is reasonably likely from our support area here. You might remember a few days ago we already talked about this support zone. So we had obviously this first break above the trend line, this trend line that kept the price down basically in October. Last 10 days. And then the price could break above it from this swing low there when the price hit our support level, this $271 level, the 78.6 retracement, so it bounced above, and then an initial pullback. And then people were already thinking we're in a breakout, but it was quite a weak pullback for a wave 2 or a B wave, a corrective pullback. Yeah, it was quite weak. So I said, look, it could be the breakout already in this C wave of wave 2, yeah, because the wave 2 should be an ABC structure. So even in the orange scenario, I would prefer a larger bounce, actually. Could be wrong about that. If it's really bearish, then we might go down directly. But actually, I would prefer still a larger bounce. But again, we have to make sure we understand there's currently nothing that confirms that. What I want to highlight is, look, we had a bounce above resistance, but only a brief break. It was not even a real break of resistance. It was a wick above, basically, here. This micro resistance area, it got broken, but it actually showed where the seller stepped in around the 78.6 retracement, then a decline into support. So we have now a very healthy and complex B wave or wave 2. So in the bullish count, this could be a 1-2 setup, even though the depth of the decline indicates the weakness, and that's still there. But we haven't broken back below the trend line, so we're still above the trend line. Could just be a retest of the trend line. The second one, it's actually a healthy retracement. So we're now in support, which is at $276.93. And if we now see the bulls show up here, then this could be orange wave C. This will be the key spot to watch for reaction. Yeah. if the bulls show up here and I have no evidence for it, I'm just watching for reaction. The first ideal target would be $314. That's basically blue shows the ideal target range for orange. But if we can get at least to $324, then this could also be in the white scenario, the third wave. It's just that the third wave needs to be longer than wave 1, so we want to get it to at least 123.6 extension. It doesn't need to be longer, but again, we talk about likelihoods here. So, yeah, there are these levels that will be, we have to watch, but let's first see if we can get a rejection, not rejection, a reaction here. I mean, one more low cannot be ruled out. Support is not an invalidation point, but if we go once more lower, then $271.70 will be again next support, but then it will look more like a B-wave pullback. And that would also open the door to a test of the lower trend line at $258. Those would be the next support levels. But then, I mean, that would increase the potential that Circle Wave 2 has already topped. I have to say, this would be, it would just open the door to a larger decline already underway. For now, this pullback looks like 3 waves. Basically, I think it's the spot where we're watching for reaction, even in the orange count. But the upside reaction is too weak, and so far only in 3 waves. Yeah, I'm not convinced, but technically this is the room where the bulls should show up. This is the space where the bulls should show up. And the first indication that we're moving up would be a break above this. I can add that to the chart. This small previous swing high, it's not a strong signal, but it's just the last swing high that needs to be taken out at $298.24. So yeah, that's the update on MSTR. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.